Learning chess is easy. It's the improving that's the hard part. My name is Jessie February. I'm a Women International Master, currently recording this video from Riyadh, AR Chess Academy in Saudi Arabia. Chess is not a difficult game to learn. It's the improving that is the tricky part. How to bring out those pieces, how to use them in an attack, and how to successfully win a game. This is a key concept at a fundamental level that all chess players need to learn at some point in their chess career. These topics are taken from level 1 of our dedicated curriculum here at the Academy. The topic addresses piece awareness, how to capture a piece that is under attack, or perhaps even a piece that is free. Every single piece has a value. The pawn, 1, the knight, 3, bishop, 3, the rook, 5, the queen, 9, and the king, the game. Of course, we only give value to the pieces that can be captured and removed off the board. The king cannot be removed. The rule of thumb is, the more pieces you've captured, the better you are in the position. Of course, with every single rule comes an exception to the rule too. We're going to look at a total of 8 examples, 4 that are going to help strengthen your ability to spot a piece that can be captured. And the last 4 we will look at winning material, either directly or through a series of moves or combinations. In the first position, it's white to move. And as we can see, white is already up quite some material, though this advantage may not be convertible as of yet. If white spots the correct series of moves, they will in fact win the game a lot faster and easier. At the moment, both rooks are attacking the bishop. And when you have more pieces attacking a piece or a square, then there are defenders. For instance, here black only has 1 defender on that piece. Usually the one who has more forces would be winning that square or piece. So if we were to use some simple calculation here, we could capture the bishop, rook captures back, and finally rook captures. And you can see in this position that white is up 5 points. Though they are equal in pawns, the additional material or the surplus for white after that combination is 5, more than sufficient to win the game. In the second example, it's black to move. You can take your time, pause the video, look at your pieces, see what they're doing, and find the next series of moves for black. Here we can see the knight is targeting the knight on e5, as well as the rook. The only defender of this square or piece is the rook on e1. And because black has more forces directed at that square, he will win material simply by capturing with the rook on e5. And if the rook were to capture back, that's okay. Our knight is defending it and takes. 2 knights are generally better than a rook. In this endgame, we should hope that it is convertible, because 2 knights are worth 6 points and the rook only 5. The chess math associated with it is that a rook and 2 pawns would be equivalent to 2 minor pieces because of the strength that they have working together. This is example number 3 with black to move, and it should be pretty straightforward. Again, the target is on the square e5. How do we know that? Well, the bishop is attacking the knight, as well as the rook attacking the knight. And what is defending it? Correct. The bishop on b2 is defending the knight. Not enough, I'd say. Here you can capture with the bishop. It's recommended not to capture with the piece of higher value, especially if a piece of lower value is attacking that square too, because after this exchange, black has lost points, unnecessary points in this position. Whereas he could have easily captured with the bishop, and if the rook were to pile pressure and try to do exactly the same thing, well, we cannot move the bishop away because the rook is hanging, and we call this a pin, a relative pin, so we have to defend the bishop instead. This way we maintain the advantage of plus 3 points on the board and hopefully win the game. In this final example, it's white to move, and the white knight is attacking on e5, the bishop is attacking on e5, with black only having 1 defender of the e5 square. So we can safely capture it. Even though we lose our knight, we gain 3 points and hopefully win the game. The next topic is just as simple, but now we've added a couple pieces to try and complicate matters and maybe stress you out some more. No. Our aim here is to put you into some real life situations where you could potentially win material, but not only do you have to identify it, but you also have to calculate whether it is the correct trade or not. So take a look at this position. It's white to move. What are you attacking? Yes, you're attacking the h5 square, both with the rook and the queen. What's defending that rook, that square? The bishop. Not enough defenders, which definitely means we will win this piece. Rook takes rook. Of course, we do not capture with the queen, because the queen is worth 9 points, and the bishop would simply capture back, and they would, in fact, be ahead. So instead, we capture with the rook, because rook for rook, and if the bishop captures, we simply take the bishop and enjoy our surplus of 3 points in this position. The next one is white to move. And this one is a little bit easier than the others. Exactly. You can directly just capture the bishop without any consequences and without worrying about being taken. Of course, if the rook were to move and attack the bishop, we may have to retreat it. And do not be too proud to retreat your pieces, because that's usually the best decision. You gotta find some shelter, some safety. We can even build an attack with bringing the bishop back, play queen to e4 and deliver checkmate. The next one is white to move. Can you spot it? Pieces can move backwards too. And here, black has simply left the bishop hanging on e3, knight captures, and now he's winning. And the final example. It's always important to look at the entire board, considering all your pieces, all your options, and that's what we call our candidate moves. In a game of chess, you have to avoid chess blindness by looking at every single edge of the board. And it's often the longer range pieces that cause more trouble tactically, because we refuse to stretch our minds and look at the whole board. And here it's white to move. White is attacking the bishop on the other side of the board on g7, and the only thing protecting it is the king. And because the bishop and the queen have formed a battery, they're not separately attacking one piece, but together they are attacking one piece, that the bishop can snipe the other one, and the king is not allowed to capture back. As you can see, the computer won't allow it. The king cannot intentionally put itself in danger. The queen is protecting the bishop, and now you are just up an entire piece. So even though this was just a fundamental concept, it's important and detriment to your chess improvement. This is Jessie February from AR Chess Academy, and I'll see you again soon.